Today we are going to see the second unit in history, which is from trade to territory. In the last class, we have already discussed about the Second Anglo-Mysore War. Under this, we have Treaty of Mangalore. Then we have seen the Third Anglo-Mysore War. Under this, we have Treaty of Srirangapatnam. Then we have seen the Fourth Anglo-Mysore War. Then Mysore after the war. Synopsis of the lesson. In this session, we are going to see the following topics. The first one is Anglo-Maratha Wars. Under this, we have the First Anglo-Maratha War. Then the internal affairs of the Marathas. Then we have the Second Anglo-Maratha War. Finally, we have the Third Anglo-Maratha War. Now, let's move on to Anglo-Maratha Wars, that is between the British and the Marathas. So, Marathas, they ruled over the Maharashtra region. So, the Anglo-Maratha Wars was fought under three phases, that is, First Anglo-Maratha War between the time period of 1775 to 1782, then Second Anglo-Maratha War between the time period of 1803 to 1805, then Third Anglo-Maratha War between the time period of 1817 to 1818. Now, let's see it one by one. So, first is the third Peshwa, Balaji Baji Rao, died in 1761 due to shock after his defeat at the Third Battle of Panipat. So, the Marathas were defeated in the Third Battle of Panipat, and on hearing that news, the third Peshwa of the Marathas, that is Balaji Baji Rao, he died in the year 1761. So, after that, the Marathas empires were divided into 5 independent kingdoms. So, one is Peshwa at Pune, Gaekwads at Baroda, Bonsal at Nagpur, Holkars at Indore, Scindias at Gwalior. So, after the death of the Peshwa, the kingdom of Marathas were divided into 5 independent states like Peshwa at Pune, Gaekwads at Baroda, Bonsal at Nagpur, Holkars at Indore, Scindias at Gwalior. After the death of third Peshwa, his son Madhavrao I succeeded him. Madhavrao I was able to recover some of the Maratha power and territories which they had lost in the Battle of Panipat. When Madhavrao I died, there was a tussle for power in the Maratha camp. So, after the death of Madhavrao I, there was a confusion regarding the succession problem. So, who will become the next ruler, which means who will become the next Peshwa? His brother Narayan Rao became the Peshwa, but his uncle Raghunath Rao wanted to become the Peshwa. After the death of Narayan Rao, Raghunath Rao became the Peshwa. So, after the death of Narayan Rao, Raghunath Rao, his uncle, became the Peshwa, but his authority was challenged by a strong party at Pune under Nana Patnavis. So, Nana Patnavis, he didn't like Raghunath Rao as Peshwa. Nana Patnavis party recognized the infant born posthumously to Narayan Raw's wife Gangabai as the Peshwa and set up a council of regency in his name. So, Nana Patnavis, he wanted the infant born of Narayan Rao to become the Peshwa. For this, Raghunath Rao sought the help of the English, so he sought the help of the British to solve the problem with Nana Patnavis. So, the Treaty of Surat in 1775 was signed, according to which Raghunath Rao ceded Salsette and Bassein to the English, and in return he was given 2,500 soldiers. So students, after the death of Narayan Rao, his uncle Raghunath Rao became the Peshwa, but Nana Patnavis he didn't like, so he wanted the infant born of Narayan Rao to become the Peshwa. So, to resolve this problem, Raghunath Rao he asked help from the British. So there he gave two places to British, that is Salsette and Bassein, and in return the British offered 2,500 soldiers to fight against Nana Patnavis' authority. However, the majority of the Supreme British Council in Calcutta was opposed to the Surat Treaty, although Warren Hastings himself had no objection to ratifying the treaty. So the British Council at Calcutta, they opposed the Treaty of Surat, and Warren Hastings also he wanted to rectify the Treaty of Surat. So the council sent Colonel Upton to Poona to negotiate a peace with the Poona Regency. Accordingly, Upton concluded the Treaty of Purandar in 1776. Accordingly, Upton he concluded the Treaty of Purandar in 1776. According to the Treaty of Purandar in 1776, that is, what are the terms mentioned in that treaty? The first one is Raghunath Rao was given a pension only, and Salsette was retained by the British. So, Raghunath Rao was given a pension and Salsette was retained by the British. Then, the Marathas also promised that they would not grant any more territories to the French. So, the Marathas also promised that they will never give any place to the French. Then, Madhav Rao was accepted as the Peshwa. So, Madhav Rao the second, infant born of Narayan Rao. So, Madhav Rao the second was accepted as the Peshwa. So, these are all the terms and conditions mentioned in the Treaty of Purandar, which was signed in 1776. So now let's see what happened. In 1777, Nana Patnavis went against his treaty with the Calcutta Council and granted a port on the west coast to the French. So, Nana Patnavis went against his treaty and he gave one part to the French. So, this led to the First Anglo-Maratha War. In 1781, Warren Hastings dispatched British troops under Captain Popham. So, in 1781, Warren Hastings dispatched British troops under Captain Popham. Captain Popham defeated the Maratha chief Mahadaji Scindia in a number of small battles and captured Gwalior. Later on, 17th May 1782, the Treaty of Salbai was signed between Warren Hastings and Mahadaji Scindia. Now, let's see the results of First Maratha War. Raghunath Rao was pensioned off and Madhav Rao II was accepted as the Peshwa. So, Raghunath Rao was pensioned off and Madhav Rao II was accepted as the Peshwa. Then, Salsette was given to the British. The Treaty of Salbai established the British influence in Indian politics. It provided the British 20 years of peace with the Marathas. Now we are going to see the internal affairs of the Marathas. Nana Fadnavis grew fond of power, jealous of Mahadaji Scindia. So, Nana Fadnavis grew fond of power, jealous of Mahadaji Scindia. Then, Nana Fadnavis inclined to seek the support of the English. So, Nana Fadnavis, he asked help from British. Then, the young Peshwa Madhav Rao II tried to improve the affairs but could not check the rivalry of the Maratha chiefs. Then Mahadaji Scindia died in 1794. So, Mahadaji Scindia died in 1794. Then later on, Mahadaji Scindia was succeeded by his grand-nephew Daulat Rao Scindia. Then Peshwa Madhav Rao II committed suicide in 1795. So, Peshwa Madhav Rao II, he committed suicide in 1795 because he was not able to resolve the conflicts within the Maratha kingdom. Then Baji Rao II, worthless son of Raghunath Rao, became the Peshwa. So, Baji Rao II, worthless son of Raghunath Rao, became the Peshwa. Then, the death of Nana Fadnavis in 1800 gave the British an added advantage. So, the British took advantage in the Maratha affairs. Jashwant Rao Holkar and Daulat Rao Scindia were fighting against each other to get the Peshwa title. Daulat Rao Scindia was supported by Peshwa Baji Rao II. So, Daulat Rao Scindia was supported by Peshwa Baji Rao II. Holkar marched against the Peshwa. The combined forces of Scindia and the Peshwa were utterly defeated in 1802 and captured the city. Then Baji Rao II approached Lord Wellesley, then Governor General of India, for help. Lord Wellesley welcomed the Peshwa and made him sign the Treaty of VIII, in other words, the Treaty of Subsidiary Alliance, accepting the status of a British subsidiary in 1802. So, to revenge Holkar, the Peshwa Baji Rao II, he asked help from the British, and the British in turn asked him to sign the Treaty of VIII, which is also called Treaty of Subsidiary Alliance. in the year 1802, the British troops marched under the commander of Arthur Wellesley towards Poona and restored the Peshwa to his position. The forces of Holkar vanished from the Maratha capital. So, the British troops under the command of Arthur Wellesley, it marched towards Poona and defeated Holkar. So students, I hope you are clear with the First Anglo-Maratha War. Now let's see the Second Anglo-Maratha War, which was fought between the time period of 1803 to 1805. So the main reason for this war is the Treaty of Subsidiary Alliance signed by Baji Rao II. So, the Treaty of Subsidiary Alliance, which was signed by Baji Rao II, was opposed by Daulat Rao Scindia and Raghoji Bhonsle, attempted to save Marathas' independence. So, these two attempted to save Marathas' independence. So, students, subsidiary alliance means to bring the princely states under the control of the British. But this led to the Second Anglo-Maratha War, but the well-prepared and organized army of the English under Arthur Wellesley defeated the combined armies of Scindia and Bhonsle at Assaye and Arcon. Treaty of Diagon was signed between Daulat Rao Scindia and Arthur Wellesley in 1803. So, the Treaty of Diagon was signed between Daulat Rao Scindia and Arthur Wellesley in 1803. Then, the Treaty of Surji Arjungaon was signed between Rajoji Bhonsle and Arthur Wellesley in 1803. So the battle ended with two separate treaties. But Yashwantrao Holkar, he was also called as Yashwantrao Holkar, was yet undefeated because he had not participated in the war so far. Instead, Holkar plundered the Treaty of Jaipur, and in 1804 the English declared war against him. Yashwantrao Holkar made an attempt to form a coalition of Indian rulers to fight against the British, but his attempt proved unsuccessful. So, Yashwantrao Holkar, he made an attempt to join all the Indian rulers to fight against British, but his attempt was proved unsuccessful. Now, let's see results of Second Anglo-Maratha War. The Maratha power was gradually weakened. Then, the English East India Company started becoming the paramount power in India. Next, let's move on to the Third Anglo-Maratha War between the time period of 1817 to 1818. The Third Anglo-Maratha War was the final and decisive conflict between the British East India Company and the Maratha Empire in India. It began with an invasion of the Maratha territory by British East India Company troops. So, the Third Anglo-Maratha War was the final and decisive conflict between the British East India Company and the Maratha Empire in India. It began with an invasion of the Maratha territory by British East India Company troops. So, in this, Governor General Hastings was supported by General Thomas Hislop, then Peshwa Baji Rao II, then Mudauji II Bonshell, and Malhar Rao Holkar III of Indore. They formed an alliance against the British. So, Daulat Rao Scindia of Gwalior remained neutral in this war because he didn't participate in the Third Anglo-Maratha War. Then the Peshwa was defeated in the battles of Katki and Koregaon, and several minor battles were fought by the Peshwa's forces to prevent his capture. Then Bonsall was defeated in the Battle of Sitabalti. So, Bonsall was defeated in the Battle of Sitabalti. Then Holkar was defeated in the Battle of Mahidpur. So, Holkar was defeated in the Battle of Mahidpur. So, all the three forces were defeated by the British. Now, let's see results of Third Anglo-Maratha War. The Peshwa Confederacy was dissolved and Peshwaship was abolished. So, the Maratha Confederacy was dissolved and Peshwaship was abolished. Then, most of the territory of Peshwa Baji Rao II was annexed and became part of the Bombay Presidency. So, most of the territory of Peshwa Baji Rao II was annexed and became part of the Bombay Presidency. Then, the defeat of the Bonsall and Holkar also resulted in the acquisition of the Maratha kingdoms of Nagpur and Indore by the British. So, the British annexed Nagpur and Indore. Then, the Baji Rao II became the last Peshwa of Maratha, was given an annual pension of 8 lakh rupees. I have enclosed the classwork instructions in the PDF. Kindly refer it. So now, we have reached the end of this session. Thank you.